If you clicked on this video, chances are you're like me and want to make a webtoon, but just aren't quite sure how to start. In this video, I'm going to give a very basic rundown of my process, which will hopefully help someone, or at least show it's really not as intimidating as it may seem. Before we start, I really want to thank you all for 2,000 plus subscribers. That is just so incredible, and your support means the world to me. I plan on making more long form videos, and a sub really helps to grow the channel. So if you're interested in more art content from me, especially long form, hit the subscribe button and maybe like the video while you're there. Thanks again, my lovely subscribers. I hope to create things y'all like to see and share my art with you. Anyway, back to webtoon making. Before we make the comic, you have to have an idea. I started from a simple idea and 2 characters, and took that and developed a basic story from there. Complexities is my very first comic ever, and so I went with a pretty laid-back approach in all aspects. The writing and planning is very simple, and I just have a general idea of story, characters, plots, events, timelines, etc. But I'm developing the smaller details as I go. So, time to actually start making the comic. First, I create a 7,200 by 6,000 canvas, and then I break it into 9 equal strips using Procreate's Drawing Assist grid. I turn the grid size to 100 pixels and use the assisted drawing to break it into columns like this. Now I just do a super quick sketch of the plot and panels. This is where I figure out the general idea of what I want to happen and the pacing. Nothing is set in stone here, and I usually make changes later, but it's nice to see multiple strips at once. I save this as an image and then make another canvas. This will be our comic strip. Our canvas size is 1600 by 12,000. Now I put that saved image with our thumbnails in and start sketching. Here's where we get into line art. First, I do a layer of the panels only. I use the shape tool, and again, very laid back comic, so my shapes don't matter too much to me. I try to have some fun with the panel placement and shapes. At this step, I sometimes start to move panels around and make changes as well, just mostly to the pacing and how close some panels are together. Using another layer, I just line all my art. Having nice, neat line art can save you from so much hassle later on, so I recommend taking your time here and really nailing the line art the first time. Don't worry too much though, because mistakes are inevitable, at least for me. This step also probably takes the longest to do, so there is that as well. Now onto flat color. For some reason I don't have any recording of my flats, but I go in and make my panel my reference, so I'll just fill the whole square one color, and then using a clipping layer I do the flats. I do 2 flat layers, one for characters and another for the background. To save time and stay as consistent as possible, I have all my basic characters and background colors saved as color palettes on Procreate. Next, I add my speech bubbles, which are usually pretty planned out from the sketch phase. I use a layer to draw the outline of each bubble, and then fill them on another layer with white. With this canvas size on Procreate, I only get 9 layers to work with, so I merge text layers as I go. At first, I hated using Procreate's text feature, but now I'm a bit better with it. I use Jack Armstrong font currently, and I just type out my dialogue without worrying about the shape or size until I need to resize it. You can also edit the text by tapping on it. The last step before posting the comic on Webtoons is shading and details for me. To shade, I start with shading the characters first. I undo that clipping mask and add some filters over for the lights and shadows. I also add details like blush and any touch-up colors I need. For the shading on these panels, I've been using a yellow overlay for the lights and a purple multiply layer for shadows. Before I post, I proofread and check one last time for any errors and then save the images as JPEGs. Posting on Webtoons is very easy. but only available on the browser version, not mobile, at least to my knowledge at the time of posting this. Personally, I use my iPad and don't have any issues. Webtoons cuts up the comic as it needs, and so formatting is really easy. I hope this video helped some, or you at least got to see some behind the scenes of Complexities if you are interested in that. If you're interested in my comic, check it out on Webtoons, link in bio, subscribe for more, and keep making amazing art. Bye!